So I just went down south and I carried 2 guns to take this class. I've talked about how good the class was. Let's talk about the guns. Let's talk about this one. YouTube Lock and Load Ninjas, internet at large, so happy to have you back. I love it when you take the time to come and just hang out with me for, I don't know, anywhere between 8 and 12 minutes. That's great. So, I want to talk about the guns I took to the Sentinel Concepts Red Dot Sight class, because these were, during the day of the class, it was 103 degrees. We tried to stay in the shade. Eventually, it was overhead. There was no escape from it. The guns were baking. It was baking so much that I could not film on the firing line anymore. I had to put the cameras away because the media began to fail. So, primary gun. Let's talk about that. The primary gun was the STI Staccato P. This is the duo version, if you will. It comes mounted with the star of the Red Dot Sight class, the Red Dot. In this case, the Holosun 508T. The Holosun 508T is a multi-reticle system. It has 3. It has something called shake-awake technology, where when you pick it up, then the reticle becomes illuminated yet again. It has a solar fail-safe built into it right here. It does have a battery, but the solar is always recharging it. So initially, the battery has to kick it on until you get into a light source. It has 3 reticles. I use the one that looks like this one, which is basically the circle with the hashtags. This is the one that Steve recommends as far as when you're zeroing your pistol with your red dot at 25 yards. This is the reticle, the best reticle for that. The Staccato P, what can I tell you about it? 4.15 inch barrel. I think it has a 4-pound trigger pull. Really nice mag weld to help you load those 140 millimeter 20 round magazines. This pistol is being adopted by a lot of law enforcement agencies as we're speaking right now. But I myself had never taken it down and shot a bunch of rounds through it in a condition where everybody was going to notice whether the gun was going to work or not. Long story short, this had not one single hiccup in the 103 degree dusty range, not one. And I was shooting 115 grain Fiocchi, full metal jacket. Not exactly garbage ammunition, but at the same time, not exactly your very level best, but very good ammo nonetheless. This handled it, no problems. The other thing that surprised me, because we were basically being taught another way to shoot, another thought process when shooting. For a lot of people, the shooting part of it is, the draw and then drive the gun out there and catch it right about here and then look for that dot. Whereas with Steve's, it's catch it here, put it right there, and then the dot is just naturally in front of what you're looking at. Locking this hand with this thumb to where this meaty part of your hand is staying there. The grip locks up and the dot barely moves, and that's acceptable. That's the part that they kept telling us, you looking for an acceptable sight picture. So that combined with the single action trigger. Now the single action trigger, as Steve wants you to pull it, he wants you to, and let's talk about this while we're talking about this. In the other video, I was talking about touch, squeeze, roll. And one of the semantic police got out there on Facebook and told me, oh no, you owe Steve Fisher some drinks. It's supposed to be touch, press, roll. Thanks for that, asshat. I've talked to Steve Fisher and I'll be taking care of his bourbon later on. Just another occasion for he and I to get together. Thanks, I appreciate that. That aside, though, it's the same principle. However you want to phrase it: touch, press, roll. So with this gun, right, the draw works beautifully because of the grip, because of the contours of the pistol. And then as you're extending, touch, press, roll. It was torturous, though, shooting. It would have been torturous shooting anything. And after I did complete the class, I wanted to go somewhere, because the next day it was like in the 70s. All over the state it was in the 70s. So the next day I went to my friend Mark's house, and we shot this gun some more. And, well, let's look at Steve's technique in play. I'm doing my very level best to imitate it, but let's go look at that. In my final analysis coming out of that, this is a gun that only malfunctions with bad ammo. It has nothing to do with the gun. The gun is superb. I understand why a bunch of LEOs are carrying this. I understand why a bunch of organizations and institutions are now carrying this as their primary weapon. A single action, 20 round pistol that shoots the way this one shoots. For more information on the gun, go to stiguns.com. For more information on the optic, go to holosun.com. And for more information on where you can take one of these classes and take whatever gun you've got and go out there and learn how to be a better gunslinger, go to sentinelconcepts.com. If you like this kind of this kind of content, and I hope you do, listen, think about doing this for me. Give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel. That'd be nice. So that's all I got for you now. Coming up next, P10F, CZ P10F. That one went down there too.